NIL is what NIL is right now. The transfer portal is what it is. Saban was at his presser the other day and said, hey, we all know what it is. We're going to have to do whatever we have to do to compete. Translation, get this thing under control or we're just going to outspend you, I guess is what he's trying to say. So I ask you, true or false, a top 15 head coach will retire within the next 3 years in the prime of his career with NIL and or the portal being the reason he retires?
True.
I agree.
And
why?
I think there are a couple of reasons why. One, you and I both know what it is. Most people have an idea what it is. The time consumption involved with managing your own roster. And then two, we could go way down this rabbit hole when we talk about teams that maybe we don't know exactly what they are just yet, or that continuity, that rhythm, that feel is not there with them just yet. Take a team like Auburn. We thought that offensive line was going to be so much better. They added all this talent. They haven't played great football this season. Look at Ole Miss, a team that everybody thought, oh, all this talent, all these receivers are going to be able to do all these different things. They can't run the football. That's a team that hasn't looked like what I think we thought they were going to look like, and they're, teetering on the edge here with what lies in the next 2 weeks on their schedule. So being able to put a great football team together with so many different parts on an annual basis, I think is going to become frustrating. And then look at how much more you're relying on people who are just going to want more from you on a daily basis. That's not just players, Josh. That's boosters. And the one thing that I think a lot of coaches don't like is asking for more all the time, because they know there's going to be a point in time that recircles, and those people are going to come back and say, but I gave you $20 million for that building, or the stadium's got my name on it. Like, I want to come to practice. I want you to come to lunch with me. I want you to come to my foundation's meeting. I want you to come speak at my touchdown club. Whatever it is, they're going to want more. And there comes a point in time where you have no more to give. You have no more of your time to give, no more of your effort to give. There's just not enough in the day to be able to do it all. And those difficulties are going to make some guys just say, you know what, I'm done. I'm out. The other part of it is the amount of money they're making. We're at a point now where coaches can coach 2 or 3 years with some of these salaries and say, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'll be fine. I've talked to a couple coaches that have been fired recently that have said, I'm not in a hurry to go anywhere because I don't have to. And that's because of the buyouts that they're getting. Some guys are going to always rush back into it. But I think we're going to find some guys that are making so much money with the first 5 or 8 years that they become a head coach. And then we get to this point that you and I are talking about, and they're going to say, no, thanks, man. I'm cool. I'll go hang out somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, we are approaching the point. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know when it's going to be, but we're going to have like a top 10, 15 coach, prime years of his career, just say, I'm done. Portal, NIL, this sport's not something I recognize anymore. You mentioned some terms. I got 3 R's: resource, relationship, and reliability. The resources meaning what you just said. I need a bigger pot, therefore I got to ask my donors for more. They will then expect more. Reciprocated, which is a 4th R, reciprocated from me, I've only got 100% of myself. I can't all of a sudden have 120% of myself to give. The relationship aspect, I think, makes a lot of guys sick, because recruiting, 5th R, used to really boil down to relationship, some resource on the side, but mainly relationship. And now you could be 3 years into a kid and know everything about his great aunt, and all of a sudden someone just decides late in the game, we want him. They swoop in, up the bid by $200K per year plus benefits with family and extensions and whatnot and free travel to and from games. And he says, Coach, I love you. I love your wife. I love your family. I love your kids. I love that we've gotten to know you, but business decision. And number 3 is reliability. And this is the most dangerous part. You and I have talked about this off air. I don't know that we're quite brave enough to do it on air yet, but there are some rosters out there that are disproportionately reliant on portal talent, and those guys are not there because they love the campus. Those guys are not there because they forged particularly strong relationships with the coaching staff. They are mercenaries. They are acquired assets, and everything's cool as long as you're still in the top 10, 15. But if things go sideways and all of a sudden you get to late October, early November, and guys are checked out and you can't rely on critical portions of your roster anymore, that's not college football. That's not the sport these dudes grew up. That's not the way they were taught it works. And I could easily see one of them who's built a little bit of a nest egg and a bankroll for themselves saying, I don't really recognize this anymore. You know what? I'll go do what Dan Mullen's doing right now. I'll go put on a suit and talk about this stuff from a distance and still make pretty good money sitting on a mountain of money I've already made. Y'all can have this. Someone's going to do that, I think.
I have no doubt. Keep in mind, we just went past one of those landmarks this season. We're 4 games in, which means a lot of guys have played in 4 games.
Yep.
So you're going to start hearing about so-and-so not on the roster, so-and-so not with the team, so-and-so's on scout team. You're going to ask yourself, why is this happening? What is going on here? What is the problem? Those guys are shutting it down.
Yep.
And they're telling the coaches they don't want to play football anymore this year because they know they want to transfer out and save that year to go play somewhere else. And that's just one small piece of everything we're talking about.